guys, Max Scoville here for Rev3 Games, and I just finished playing Deadlight, which is the, I don't know, second or third entry in this year's Summer of Arcade for Xbox Live Arcade. It is the first offering from Tequila Works, which is a Spanish video game studio, and it is a game about some zombies. Now, we've seen a lot of games about zombies. This one, however, is a, let's see here. On the Wikipedia, it refers to itself as a side-scrolling survival horror cinematic platformer. Though I think it's safe to say there's some puzzle elements in there. There are a lot of things going on here. At first glance, it's pretty easy to say that Deadlight is like a cross between Shadow Complex and Limbo, but about zombies and with some survival horror stuff in there. That is very true in how the game plays as well. There's a lot of running and jumping. There's also some puzzles, both of the timing and physics-based variety. You will die in a lot of different gruesome ways. You will fight some zombies. You get a few weapons in the game. You get a pistol, a fireman's axe, a slingshot, and a shotgun. The shooting controls are totally fine, but really this isn't a game about shooting. Using the fireman's axe is kind of just like, you might as well just be in a dark room just waving an axe around, because you're hitting the B button to use it, and you know, you can do sort of short attacks, and you can do shove attacks, and you can also do like finishing moves, but you'll wind up like swinging in the wrong direction while getting overcome by zombies. And this isn't a game where you've got like regenerative health. This is a game where if you get 3 zombies on you, you're pretty much dead. The game itself is really beautiful. Unfortunately, the cutscenes that you're given, sort of between gameplay sequences, are these hand-drawn comic panels, which are sort of motion comic animated stuff, and they really just kind of seem like Walking Dead fan art. There's a story in the game. You're in a zombie apocalypse and you're trying to catch up with your friends and your family and sort of get to the safe place, as pretty much is always the case in zombie situations. Really nothing to write home about. Some of the dialogue is pretty corny. The voice acting's kind of but all in all, the gameplay is much more interesting than anything the story is trying to do. So yeah, Deadlight looks really good. It's very pretty. I definitely like that. The controls, that was probably the sore spot for me. For a game that requires you to do a lot of precision jumping and climbing, it was a little bit sloppy, and it got to a point where you started to notice this being a problem. There's a stretch of the game that just turns out into a straight homage to Cannonball, the game where you're just running out of windows and jumping over stuff and birds are flying away. It was like that. You're being chased by a helicopter, which reminded me of the part in Shadow Complex where a helicopter is chasing you and shooting you. This is like a cool thing to do in a video game, but you really have to want to do it in a video game, and survival horror really doesn't work so hot with the whole running and jumping very carefully at the right time. So that was frustrating. It does kind of have that horror movie feeling where you're like, why won't you go up the stairs? Why would you trip on that box? You're so clumsy. Except, you're the one who tripped on the box because the button wasn't doing the thing you wanted it to at the time. It's a shame. Also, the checkpoints. One of the brilliant things about Limbo, I felt, was that the checkpoints were really well spaced, and it was really it was forgiving at the same time as being kind of cruel. And you had to watch the little boy die a lot, but it was never like you still have to drag that box over. You still have to go through this whole thing. In Deadlight, very frequently there's a checkpoint right before a part where you have to do something that's a little bit tedious. There's no actual challenge there, like moving a box or like going down a ladder or going through some area. And I felt like they could have probably maybe put some more thought into that, having more bookmarks in there for you to pick up on. Deadlight is a really short game. I beat it in an afternoon. That's probably what people are going to average. If they're really powering through it and they're good at running and jumping in spite of squishy controls and they're super puzzle geniuses, then you could probably blow through it in 3 hours. If that's not enough value for your 15 bucks, then there are plenty of other values elsewhere. However, as a first offering from Tequila Works, this is definitely an ambitious title. I don't regret my time with it. It's got a lot of style, a lot of polish. If they make a Deadlight 2, I would be really interested in it. But it's got its faults. I can't say I recommend it 100%. I would definitely recommend trying it, whether that's through a demo or through going to your friend's house and punching him in the arm until he buys it for you, or if you built like a dream catcher out of microchips and put it above your Xbox, maybe that would do something. I don't know. But hey, it's worth checking out. I'll say that much. It's definitely a very valiant entry into the hall of zombie video games, of which there are so many. I'm going to be talking about this over with Anthony Carboni on his show New Challenger right here on this channel, Rev3 Games, which you should subscribe to because it's where we put our videos. So subscribe to that. I'm gonna be here. If you have any questions or comments about the game, be sure to leave them below. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Max Scoville. We are at Rev3 Games, and I am out of here.